I mean, I'm not sure. I'm really happy for Nate. I've been lucky enough to play with him, get to know with him, and he's obviously a pretty incredible player. So, I think that contract's much deserved. And, as far as my situation, I'm not really too focused on that. Still a couple years away, so.
Maple Leafs in panic as Auston Matthews trade talk explodes. The discussion began during the NHL holiday break. Toronto was off the ice. The standings added pressure. Media reports appeared quickly. No trade was announced, but the conversation grew. Auston Matthews is the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was named team captain before the 2024-25 season. Matthews has been with the franchise since being drafted first overall in the 2016 NHL Draft. He signed a 4-year contract extension in August 2023 worth $53 million, with an average annual value of $13.25 million. During the 2025-26 season, Matthews remained one of the team's leading offensive players. However, the Maple Leafs entered the holiday break near the bottom of the Eastern Conference standings. Team performance data showed defensive issues and inconsistent scoring. Those numbers were widely reported in late December. As the season reached its midpoint, several hockey media outlets reported that Matthews' name had begun appearing in trade discussions among fans and analysts. These reports did not state that the Maple Leafs were actively shopping Matthews. They stated that frustration among supporters had grown due to the team's results. Trade discussion stories increased after a stretch of losses before the break. In multiple games, the Leafs allowed more goals than league averages. Their power play ranked below expectations. These figures were cited in season breakdown articles published days before Christmas. Matthews' individual numbers remained strong compared to many teammates. Despite that, reports noted that team success continued to lag behind expectations. The Maple Leafs have reached the playoffs multiple times during Matthews' career, but have only advanced past the first round once. The playoff record became part of the renewed discussion. Articles referenced Toronto's history of early playoff exits. Matthews played in those series. His name has long been linked to the franchise's postseason results due to his role and contract status. On December 24th and December 25th, fan reaction articles appeared across hockey news sites. These reports documented increased online discussion about major roster changes. Matthews was mentioned as part of those conversations due to his position as captain and highest-paid player. No report stated that Matthews requested a trade. No report stated that Toronto management planned to move him. The coverage focused on reaction, speculation, and frustration. At the same time, Maple Leafs management remained publicly quiet. The NHL roster freeze began before Christmas. This freeze temporarily stops trades. Because of that, no transactions could occur during the period when the discussion intensified. Head coach Craig Berube addressed the team's performance before the break. He spoke about effort levels and execution. He did not mention Matthews directly. His comments focused on overall team play. Statistical summaries published by hockey analytics sites showed that Toronto ranked low in expected goals against. The team also struggled in 5-on-5 play. These numbers were included in articles examining why pressure around the team increased. Matthews' leadership role added weight to the coverage. As captain, he represents the team publicly. Media stories noted that leadership positions often bring greater scrutiny during losing stretches. During the same period, Matthews continued to play regular minutes. He remained active in games leading into the break. No injury report limited his availability. Fan reaction articles included quotes from social media posts. These posts referenced Matthews' salary and contract length. They also referenced the team's lack of playoff success during his tenure. These quotes were presented as fan sentiment, not official statements. Hockey analysts noted that Matthews holds a full no-movement clause in his contract. This clause restricts trade options without player approval. Articles included this contract detail as part of factual context. Trade speculation increased online because of timing. The NHL trade deadline is later in the season, but mid-season discussions often begin earlier. Media outlets reported that frustration can drive early speculation even when deals are unlikely. At the same time, league standings showed several teams within reach of playoff positions. This made upcoming games important. The Maple Leafs' schedule after the break included divisional opponents. Matthews' past performance records were included in coverage. He has won the Rocket Richard Trophy multiple times as the league's top goal scorer. He won the Hart Memorial Trophy in 2022 as the NHL's most valuable player. Those achievements were contrasted with team results. Articles did not assign blame. They presented records and timelines. Toronto's front office has stated in past seasons that the goal remains long playoff runs. Those statements were referenced indirectly in season context pieces. As Christmas Day passed, coverage continued into December 26th. Hockey aggregators compiled multiple articles under trade discussion headlines. Matthews' name appeared in many of them. No official comment came from Matthews regarding trade talk. He did not address speculation publicly. He did not post messages related to the discussion. By the end of the holiday break, the focus shifted toward upcoming games. Media outlets noted that on-ice results would influence future coverage. The trade conversation did not result in action during the break. The roster freeze remained in place. The Maple Leafs prepared to resume play. As the season moves forward, standings updates and game results will add new data. Matthews remains under contract. He remains captain. The discussion reflects reaction to performance rather than confirmed plans. The situation shows how pressure increases during losing stretches. It also shows how quickly speculation can spread during pauses in the NHL schedule.
I'm not sure. I'm really happy for Nate. I've been lucky enough to play with him, get to know with him, and he's obviously a pretty incredible player. So, I think that contract's much deserved. And, as far as my situation, I'm not really too focused on that. Still a couple years away, so.
Auston Matthews just shocked everyone. After weeks of loud trade rumors, he finally spoke today, and the NHL reacted in seconds. The silence is over, but the tension is not. His words added new force to a story that was already shaking Toronto. Today, you will hear exactly what he said, why it matters, and why this moment changes the entire story around the Toronto Maple Leafs. Auston Matthews, captain of the Maple Leafs, spoke to the media for the first time in weeks. His comments came after growing talk that the team may need to rethink his long-term role. The pressure around his situation has risen because of one major factor: his availability. Last season, Matthews played 67 games. This season, he has already missed time. Analysts have pointed out the same pattern again and again. They said the team might have to look at his availability moving forward. The facts support that concern. Matthews missed 11 of 35 games last year with an upper body injury. During that stretch, the team won 7 of the 9 games he missed, but his absences stood out. This season, the team's playoff odds sit around 11%. When a team faces numbers like that, every missing game from a top player matters. Every timeline matters. Every decision matters. 2 years from now, Matthews reaches a major contract point. Analysts have said this changes everything for the team. With 2 years left, the pressure grows. The team must decide how to build the roster. They must decide how to use their top assets. And they must decide what they can expect from their captain in the long run. Matthews' contract includes a full no-movement clause. His cap hit is $13.25 million. That means he has full control over any trade. A move cannot happen without his approval. This gives him complete power over where he plays next. Because of this contract and his elite skill, many teams around the league are watching him closely. Even rebuilding teams, including one well-known franchise in the Pacific Division, have shown interest in the idea of targeting him if he ever becomes available. But the obstacles are huge: the contract, the cost, and his no-movement clause. But back to today. The moment Matthews finally spoke, he did not talk about trade rumors directly. He did not confirm anything. He did not shut anything down either. Instead, he used the same direct tone he used months earlier when he addressed the departure of a longtime teammate. At that earlier event, he said the team would miss his teammate, that the business side of the sport is tough, and that they needed to keep moving forward. He said he wished the player the best. Those remarks were short, factual, and careful. He kept that same tone today, but today's timing makes everything different. The Maple Leafs have had a mixed start to the season. They have not moved to the top of their division. They have not shown the clear dominance some expected. At the same time, the team made other moves earlier this year, including a 4-year extension for John Tavares worth $17.52 million. This shows that the team is still building around a certain leadership core. But the questions about Matthews have not gone away. Analysts have pointed out that even when Matthews was in the lineup last year, he did not always appear fully healthy. They pointed out the concern that he might be protecting an injury. That concern, combined with this season's missed games, has created serious discussions behind closed doors. The comment made last season that this could turn into a whole new ballgame if the pattern continues now hangs over the team, and the pattern has continued. When Matthews spoke today, he mentioned again the idea of staying in the moment and focusing on the day in front of him. He said the team has a strong group of players and that they want to be ready to compete. His words were steady, they were controlled, but they did not answer the bigger questions about his future. With 2 years left on his contract, the pressure on the organization increases. Teams do not want to wait until a star's value drops. If they decide to make a move, timing is everything, and timing is exactly what makes today so important. Because the moment a star player breaks silence, even with short remarks, the league listens. Fans listen, teams listen, general managers listen, and today, everyone heard the same thing. Matthews is aware of the situation. He knows the rumors. He knows the questions. He did not stop them. He did not fight them. He simply spoke, then stepped back. His comments also come at a time when several teams around the league have the cap space, the interest, and the need for a player like him. Some clubs have been openly studying the possibility of making an aggressive move if the door ever opens. But fans should know this: no trade can happen unless Matthews approves it. That is a confirmed detail. His no movement clause gives him full control. Right now, he has not given any sign of approving or denying anything. The situation remains open, and that is why today's comments matter so much. His silence ended, but the story did not end. The Maple Leafs still face the same numbers, the same odds, and the same choices. The team still needs to see whether Matthews can stay healthy this season. The front office still has to decide what direction they want to take, and the league still watches one of the most discussed players in hockey. Today's comments mark a serious moment in this season, a moment that adds weight to every game ahead, a moment that keeps fans watching the situation even more closely. Matthews broke his silence. The questions remain. The Oilers just lost again, and this time the reaction from Connor McDavid said everything.
And I think last night is the kind of accumulation of a lot of different things, and last night's a great warning to the group what happens when you're not ready to.
After blowing several leads and falling 7-4, the pressure on Edmonton has reached a new level. What McDavid said after the game has now become the center of attention. His words pointed straight at the issues that have been building for weeks, and the message hit hard. The Edmonton Oilers entered the game with hopes of stopping their slide. Instead, they were handed a 7-4 loss after giving up multiple 2-goal leads. The defeat added to a worrying trend in their season. The team scored early but could not protect the lead. The breakdown happened again and again, and it brought more pressure to a roster already under strain. Connor McDavid finished the night with 2 assists. He recorded one of them on the power play, showing he was still creating chances at key moments. He has been on the score sheet in 9 of his last 10 games, with several multi-point nights. His production has stayed strong, but once again, his numbers did not translate into a win. The Oilers were outplayed down the stretch and could not stop Washington's scoring pushes. The team allowed the Capitals to score 7 times on a mix of rush chances, rebounds, and open looks near the net. The Oilers gave up 5 separate 2-goal leads in the game. Each lead slipped away quickly. This pattern showed the issues inside the defensive zone. Players were unable to cover lanes, clear rebounds, or close out plays when pressure increased. After the game, McDavid spoke about the team's situation. His words were direct. He said the team needed to be stronger in key moments and could not keep giving opponents easy chances. He pointed to breakdowns in the defensive zone and said they needed to tighten up their coverage. He explained that early leads were slipping because the team was not playing the right way once they were ahead. McDavid did not blame any single player. Instead, he talked about the group and how everyone needed to be sharper. He made it clear that the team had control of the game multiple times, but lost it by making mistakes in their own end. His tone showed the growing pressure that comes with every loss. The head coach said the same thing in his own comments. He talked about the need for more support from the depth players. The Oilers have often leaned heavily on McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to carry the load. In this game, the top line produced, but the rest of the lineup did not keep pace. The coach said the entire team must be involved in scoring and defending. The Oilers' defensive structure was tested throughout the game. Washington found open ice in the slot and along the boards. The Capitals used speed to enter the zone and created high-danger chances that led to goals. The Oilers could not track the puck well in their end. Missed assignments and slow reactions resulted in easy scoring opportunities for the opponent. McDavid explained that the team needed more urgency. He said the Oilers had to be better in protecting the puck and clearing the defensive zone. He also said there was no excuse for letting leads disappear. His comments matched what fans have been saying for weeks. Many fans believe the Oilers rely too much on their captain to fix every situation. When the team breaks down defensively, McDavid cannot solve it alone. This loss continued a pattern from earlier games. Edmonton has struggled to defend leads. The team often starts well and generates offense, but mistakes on the back end lead to goals against. Missed plays near the net and slow defensive movement allow opponents to stay close in games. These small errors then turn into major problems. Goaltending also faced pressure in this game. The Oilers allowed several goals from close range. The goalie had to face rebounds, screens, and cross-ice passes. The team's defensive lapses made it difficult to stop these chances. As the game went on, the pressure did not let up. Washington kept finding space, and the Oilers were unable to respond. McDavid's comments after the game highlighted this. He talked about execution. He said the team had chances to pull away, but mistakes allowed the game to slip out of reach. His words showed how aware he is of the team's position in the standings. Every loss now affects their playoff hopes and increases the pressure on the group. The coach also pointed to consistency. He said the team could not rely on a few players to carry every game. He explained that scoring chances were there, but the team needed to lock down defensively. The message was that the Oilers must play a complete game if they want to turn their season around. McDavid was clear that the team needs to improve fast. He said the Oilers cannot let games get away from them. He said the group must play with more discipline and stay focused through all 3 periods. He did not raise his voice or show anger, but his words carried weight. They signaled that the time for small fixes has passed. The loss to Washington made the situation more urgent. The Oilers had chances to take control but could not close out the game. The repeated breakdowns showed that the problems are deeper than one night. They reflect patterns that have affected the team for several games. McDavid's comments confirmed that the players understand this. He said the team needs to trust their structure and stay committed to it throughout the game. He talked about playing with better habits and making smarter decisions. These remarks showed the kind of leadership expected from a captain who continues to produce even during tough stretches. The team now moves forward with the weight of this loss behind them. The next games will show whether McDavid's message has reached the locker room. The Oilers know that every point matters. They know that the problems must be fixed soon. They know the season can turn quickly, but only if they stop the mistakes that have cost them games.